Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Chris, and we know frustration is a common emotion that we all experience from time to time. It can arise from various sources such as work, relationships, finance, personal goals, but while feeling frustrated for a short period of time is quite healthy and normal, it becomes problematic when it persists for an extended period. Prolonged frustration can have negative effects on our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. It can affect our relationships and certainly our productivity. Therefore, it's a crucial thing to recognize and know the signs of, to deal with the effect of prolonged frustration and take steps to address it promptly. This month, the video series has been about frustration, and I think I'm going to bring this to a head. It's the end of the month, but with this particular video to talk about the perils of prolonged frustration. The perils of prolonged frustration. I see many people in the world give themselves the benefit of staying frustrated for more than an hour or two. This video will explore the videos of staying frustrated for more than a day. We will examine the physical and emotional effects of prolonged frustration and the factors that contribute to it. We will also discuss strategies to overcome frustration, including mindfulness, relaxation techniques, cognitive restructuring, and problem solving. By the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of the impact of prolonged frustration and how to manage it effectively. Prolonged frustration can have serious consequences on our well-being, relationships, and productivity. By addressing frustration promptly, we can improve our physical, emotional health, enhance our relationships, and increase our overall quality of life. And that's what Innerwealth is all about. So it's time for us to move forward now. Let's look at the effects of frustration and how it affects us personally. So that next time you come to a coaching session, you might say to me, Chris, I'm frustrated about this, or I'm frustrated about that, or this is frustrating me, or this could frustrate me. And we will have a very, very clear understanding of the importance of that piece of coaching, and also the consequence of not doing that piece of coaching. So the physical effects, let's start. Increased stress levels. So nobody needs to tell you that about 97% of the world's population dies of stress. Prolonged frustration can increase our stress levels, leading to a variety of physical and health problems. When we experience frustration, our body releases stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, or GOT2 chemicals, which prepare us for a fight-flight response. However, when frustration persists, these hormones can cause chronic stress, leading to inflammation, which is underneath nearly all physiological breakdowns, high blood pressure, stress, and of course heart disease. The next physical effect is the breakdown of the immune system. So chronic frustration can weaken our immune system, making us more susceptible to infections and diseases. Given that COVID's around, and given that we're all having injections and doing all sorts of things to prevent the flu, it might be an ironic thing that we give ourselves permission to be frustrated for more than a day, and yet we'll go and have a flu injection. Chronic frustration releases stress hormones, and these suppress the immune system's activity deliberately, reducing its ability to fight off viruses and bacteria. Insomnia. Prolonged frustration can also disrupt our sleep patterns, leading to insomnia. When we are frustrated, our mind may race with negative thoughts, making it difficult to fall asleep or even stay asleep. Insomnia can have various negative effects on our physical and mental health, including fatigue, getting grumpy, decreasing cognitive function. There are also emotional effects of long-term frustration that we need to take into account when we're contemplating whether we need to deal with that frustration or run around being frustrated and telling everybody about the problem. The emotional effects start with increased anxiety and depression. Chronic frustration can also lead to increased depression. When we feel frustrated for an extended period of time especially, we may begin to feel helpless or hopeless, leading to feelings of anxiety and ultimately depression. Frustration can also cause us to ruminate on negative thoughts, making it difficult to find joy or even satisfaction in our daily activities. It has a negative impact on relationships. Prolonged frustration can also have a negative impact on our relationships with others. When we are frustrated, we may be more irritable, short-tempered, higher expectation, and leading to conflicts with family members, friends, or colleagues. Frustration can also cause us to withdraw from social interactions, leading to feelings of loneliness and isolation. Decreased motivation and productivity is another consequence of long-term frustration, which corporations need to take into account. Decreased motivation and productivity caused by chronic frustration can also decrease our motivation, making it difficult to achieve our goals. When we feel frustrated, we may become demotivated, disengaged, and leading to procrastination or even avoidance. This can ultimately lead to a decrease in performance, both at work and in our personal lives. So when it all boils down, prolonged frustration can have a negative effect on our physical, emotional well-being, as well as our social relationships and productivity. It's important to take steps, therefore, to manage and overcome frustration before it becomes chronic. So here's some thoughts on strategies that can help stop the rot from a frustration that lasts more than 24 hours. 1. Mindfulness. Meditation techniques involve focusing your attention on the present moment without judgment. Now, what I teach for this is walking meditation and looking at beauty, taking photos of nature, being focused on the present, looking at micro nature, enjoying the process of the walk. And this can really help improve your emotional well-being. Breathing exercises. We know that when you breathe in, you inhale, you agitate. When you exhale, you depress the body. So getting your breathing balanced between inhale and exhale, and using the nose for that breathing practice, and trying to extend each inhale and exhale as long as possible. And also enjoying the loop. When it reaches a peak, your breath goes all the way up, and like an aeroplane going through a air pocket, all the way down. You can use yoga with any form of mind-body practice to integrate meditation, physical postures, and breathing techniques. It's clear yoga has a big effect on people's lives. The second aspect of dealing with frustration is cognitive restructuring, which is changing your mind. The first and highest yield process for dealing with frustration is to change your self-talk. So positive self-talk involves replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. We talk about pulling out weeds, and if you don't put a flower in their place, weeds grow back. So with the mindset and the way you think, we pull out the weeds, but then we spend a significant energy practicing our morning self-talk. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you try saying, I will do my best and I will learn from my mistakes. Reframing negative thoughts. Reframing negative thoughts involves looking at the situation from a different perspective. The way we do that in Innerwealth is we always use the 5 universal laws of nature to see things, to look for the balance, to look for growth, to look for the interconnectedness, to look for the harmony, and to look for the one and the many. These 5 laws reframe everything into a universal perspective that's sustainable and therefore permanent. Next, challenging our limiting beliefs. This is the discard form. This is the emotional shower. By now, if you've done any coaching with me, you will know how to practice those, and I think they are one of the most powerful ways to deal with and process any frustration you have on your plate. And if you don't do that, that's your bad. The third phase, mindfulness, the first, second, cognitive restructure, and the third phase is problem solving. So frustration is always a problem, and it reflects that you've come up against some resistance, you're not getting what you want. So the root cause of frustration involves understanding the underlying factors that are contributing to your frustration. So it can help you if you do some, brainstorming. It can really help you to look at different ways to approach the problem. Brainstorming involves generating a list of potential solutions to the problem that's causing you frustration, and trying not to discount any of the solutions, just trying to brainstorm and get as many ideas as possible. Implementing and evaluating solutions. Implementing any solution to frustration involves taking action to address the problem and stopping the frustration. Most importantly here is to stop talking about what's frustrating you to everybody. It can help you to learn from your experience and develop more effective problem-solving skills if you stop telling people about what's frustrating you and instead follow one of the three categories of dealing with frustration: mindfulness, cognitive reframing, and problem solving. This is Chris. You have a beautiful day. Bye for now.